Hi guys. Some of you said, "Where are you? What are you doing? What's going on?" So me and Mark have been gallivanting of a weekend. Going around gallivanting. So we've not been doing much videoing at the weekend. I've also been getting really into my courses. The one I've been doing the longest now is the Candle Magic course, and I'm really getting into that. It feels like I've done it before, and I don't know, it just feels really intuitive, and I must have done this before in a previous life or something, because it just feels too right. It just feels like natural. I don't go start having a nervous breakdown about that. That's the only bloody candle holder I could get that's small enough to put the little Candle Magic candles in. I've got bigger candles like that, but they take a long time to burn down, and I'm of a mind that I'd rather the whole candle burn down rather than me having to put it out. So, and it takes about an hour. So if you've got one of these ones, you know, that can take 2 to 4 hours to burn down. So I'm using these little ones, got all different colours, look. And I've been doing it for a month now. I'm not going to go into what I've been doing or the results I've been getting, because that's personal, innit, to me, and I don't want to. I don't know, I just don't feel right to share that, but I've been getting some amazing results with this. I'll take you around my little magical table, shall I? Now, I've got this white candle here because sometimes I come home from work and I'm just really stressed and I don't want to do a spell. It's a bit of a rigmarole, and you've got to really get yourself in the right frame of mind. And sorry, I was interrupted then. And you got to put your intention, and you got to meditate. Blah blah blah. We'll go into that in a minute. So when I just come home from work these days, or from anywhere, or if I'm just a bit stressed about something, I just like that one. It's a white one. Just relaxes me, and I just look at that and feel a bit calmer. So the ones I actually do the little spells with are these little ones that last about an hour. I bought these to start with, like the ones that like the beeswax, and they've got the pattern of the beeswax thing on. But they're really nice, but you can't carve into them. So I've stopped buying them. You live and learn, don't you? So you can't carve your intentions or your sigils or whatever on them, so I just use them. And I want a bit of a, like, I see that as like quite a peaceful colour, that lilac-y colour. So I've got all the colours written down, what they all symbolise downstairs, but I won't be doing them for me magic, as it were. So I have been, what I do is, I've got my incense sticks over here. I've got some handmade ones that were, there's an amazing shop, Sons of Asgard, I've talked about it before, in Glastonbury, where they make them. So I've got that one. That's a handmade one. And I've been really trying to, this all came about because I've been getting a lot of nonsense from my neighbours. Like in my last video, like they want to do is chop trees down, and never used to be an issue, but now they've got together and it seems like one of them's encouraging the other one, and it's just, if there's one thing that stresses me out, it's when people invade my space. And the trees are part of my space, whether they're in my garden or not. They are part of my energy space, and we feed the birds and we feed the bloody squirrels now. And so I bought me little Gaia. That's a beautiful one, that is. I'm not really into these fat Gaias, fat pregnant Gaias, and their tummy is the world. I mean, you can tell she is Probably pregnant or something, because look at her tummy. But it's not one of those tacky ones that you know, the big bloody. I don't like them ones. So I found this on the internet, and I thought, oh, because we were in Glastonbury, and I was like, oh, I'll never find that in the shop. Literally did. Literally found her in the shop. Look at her. She's got a bird's nest. I'm not a great fan of an owl, but it's got an owl on there. Like I said, I'm not really a fan of an owl. But it's got me little favourite mushrooms down there. And that little birdie, he's got his mouth open like he's having a little chat with her. I think she's beautiful. More mushrooms down there. Still getting into that, reading about mycelium and how amazing fungi is. Keep getting interrupted by my noisy bloody son. And there's my salt lamp. I've always wanted a salt lamp. And he just casts a really nice glow over proceedings. My Robin, that's a personal story. None of your bloody business, mind. Now, we've got a shop in Bath that sells loads of these, and we saw one around Christmas time, and I didn't know, but Mark bought me one for Christmas, and there's my green man, or the ancient guardian of the forest, and I've been really trying to invoke that kind of energy, because I'm surrounded by that, and I'm trying to kind of, in my funny little way, protect it and maybe use its energy. And then, as you know, I love a mushroom. I love a toadstool. And so in my little head, you got the Gaia, and you got the green man, or the sacred, or the ancient guardian of the forest. And then that's their little babies. So that's my mad little head. I got these as well. Fluorite, and I can't remember the other one. Little mushrooms, but it's not very. Crystals. Oh, they go down there. And so, what have I got here? See that big candle in the background? Now that is it's my new thing now. So what you do with candle magic, right? Look into this more, because I'm just going to give you a brief synopsis, because I've been learning about it and doing a course, and I've been putting it into practice for over a month now. So, and because it feels natural, it doesn't. I feel what to do. I know that sounds a bit fucking pretentious, but this is the right way for me. This is the right thing for me, you know. So what I do is I start off. I light some incense sticks. So the incense sticks I've got there are one of them. Well, I've already burnt the Ganesha one. As you know, I like a Ganesha, don't I? I've got a little necklace of him. So I've got Ganesha floral. I've got the Rowan one, which is a handmade one, and I've got rose, because that's a personal thing as well. That's a personal thing. Why I've got a rose one there. Just for me, it just means something. So I sit down and I have a little, like a deep breath, and I was like, let all the stress out. Try and get yourself in a little place. And look what I found in the charity shop. It's got a windmill on one side. I don't want a windmill. I quite like the nature picture on the back, like a bit of a plant. Now this, some people use a bell to start a ritual, or whatever you want to call it, and to finish a ritual. But also, like, I've been learning about jewellery and makeup, and, you know, some Indian people, I was talking about this before, they wear jewellery and the makeup and, you know, the nose rings and lots of bangles that make a noise. There we go, look. There's my Indian lady with all her bangles on in the background, look. And her rings. This is probably Buddha, I'm calling it a her, but it's probably bloody Buddha or something in it. Don't mean to be disrespectful. But yeah, all the jewellery and the, you know, I just bloody love it. And that is, they would wear that protect their ears, because orifices, every orifice, they think, you know, they want to protect it from them demons, etc., the jinn or whatever, the nasties going in there. So they'd wear all this flamboyant gold and to stop, you know, the noise of the bangles, like the noise of the bell, dispel the nasty negative energy, etc. So I was looking in Glastonbury at bells when I was stocking up, and they were a bit rubbish, and they were a bit expensive. And so I thought, I'm going to leave that because I got a feeling I've either got one at home somewhere or I'm just going to come across one. And I did, and I came across this one. And what's interesting kind of about this is Mark comes from Upminster, and they've got a windmill up there. This was only 49p, but I have it the other way round because I like the little sort of plant on the background. So I'll get in here and have a relax. I like one of my incense sticks or one of those little cones, don't know. Look at that flower of life, look. And I got that on my bracelet as well. You can't bloody see it. Flower of life. I just like that geometry. Sacred geometry stuff. So I like one of them or two of them sometimes. Have a little think about which one do I want. And I've got my sage, but I don't actually like the smell of it, so I've stopped using that. I've got this bit of wood. I can't remember what kind of wood it is. I can't remember for life of me remember what kind of wood that is. But I put some, what's this? Juniper, because it smells really nice. I put some juniper oil on this. Let it dry a few weeks ago. Yeah, so you can do what you want, basically. Don't bloody burn your house down, but, you know. That's what I say, be a bit intuitive with it all, really. So I like me incense, and I sort of put it around myself. I've already sort of done some deep breathing, relax, try get in the zone. And then I light one of these. Like I say, I don't like the smell of that sage, so I don't use that. And I'll sort of like put it right, pretend that candle's me. I'll just sort of like try and put it around my head and sort of around my heart and sort of like around my legs and sort of like make a little circle around my area, you know, and I'll just put it all over here like this and just like waft it around. Do you know what is also as good? I quite like sticking it in his mouth. When it's alight, stick it in his mouth for a bit, pull it out, and then it's like he's smoking. It's just something, it's like he's alive, so I quite like doing that. And you know, I'm just like, oh, you know, try have a little chat with the mycelium because they are the biggest things in the whole planet. So if you can tap into that, then you've won, mate. You've bloody won. They take over the whole planet, and they have a little chat with the tree, and they're like, oh, hello, Mr. Tree, can I have some of your photosynthesis or something? And he'll say, oh yes, but only if I can have some of your sugars, or the other way around, something like that. I don't bloody know. It's bloody amazing, isn't it? So anyway, that's my little. I make sure everything I use has been. Everything I'm sitting in front of has had a little bit of this, and my intentions are already, I've already said to this little stick, if it's a piece, I want a bit of peace. I always like to say, okay, you know, the smoke or whatever that comes out of this is just going to enhance my intentions for feeling a bit more peaceful, etc. Blah, blah, blah. So I've got that going on, and then I'll have a little ding. I do it around my head, pretend that candle's me. Look, I've just made this up. I don't even care if it's what you're supposed to do or not. I feel like I've done this before, so I'm going to go with what feels right with me, because I just feel I've done this before. So I have a little ding around my head and then up and down my sort of like chakras, and have a little ding over here and a ding over here, and, you know, gets on my son's wick. So, and then you have a little bit of a meditate, have a little bit of another bit of a deep breathing sort of thing. You've got to take your time with this, mind. It's not just a case of getting in there, lighting a candle and fucking off. You've got to take your time with it. So I do that. And then the things I'm going to use for the actual spell, for example, the candle. That's for protection. Don't get stressed out because it's a black candle. That's just about protection. That's nice. I use so for example, I would get my candle, the candle holder, whichever oil I'm going to use. There's frankincense there. Let's pretend we're going to use that. and my knife. Don't get getting stressed out. Don't get bloody getting all stressed out. That's just to carve my name on a candle or something. Chill out. Okay. I'm going to make a little wand. I did, so I had a bit of a sad time, didn't I? Because I cut that hazel tree down. I had a bit of a sad time about it, but Casey came up with a brilliant idea about getting some of the wood and making a wand, and I've got some of the wood. It's just waiting for me to carve it now, so I'll have a little wand one day. I did have a wand before, but I just bought it and then threw it away because it meant nothing to me. So that's a bit of, oh my god, he's a fucking Satanist. I used to feel that about that. What a dickhead. It's just a fucking shape that, you know. But it's the only one I could find that would fit him in, because I have been putting him in here. I've been putting them in here till I got that. And watching the flame till it burns right down to the bottom. But then all of a sudden I thought, that's going to be a bit dangerous. It looks like a bloody, I don't know, burning the glass. I don't know, it just felt a bit unsafe. So I just used that for the candles that are supposed to go in there now. And so I bought this one, a bit more sturdy. So don't get stressed out, it's got a fucking star on it, you weirdos. Stop being silly. So I'll get my bits that I need. So my candle holder, my oil. You don't have to use oil. My little knife, or whatever it is you're going to carve into your candle with. And I will do the same again. So I'll hold that in my hand. Just hold that in my hand, and I'll have my incense stick. It's hard to do because I've been silly. I haven't used my selfie stick to do this. So I'll hold that in my hand, imagine, and I'll just go round and round and round with the smoke, and just tell the little, put my intention, tell the knife what I'm doing, why I'm going to be doing this. Same with the incense. Put your intention in, it's only frequencies, just frequencies, that's all energy is, chill out. And then the same with that, and then the same with the candle. So I've smudged it, or whatever they say. So I've smudged myself, I've smudged my bits I'm going to use. I've done my little bell, and so I put my little incense stick back there, and that's just light in itself, it's just over there. So if there's anything else that you need to smudge, it's just on. So then what do I do? So what I do then, hold it in my hands, 2 hands. This is what I do, 2 hands. I really sort of like meditate and concentrate and feel the candle. Right, so for example, I want to feel more peaceful. I would use a blue candle for that. In fact, I did this morning. And so imagine 2 hands, right, just holding that. Just really, 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 what do I need and want? And in fact, what have I already got? I've already got it, I just haven't walked into it. That's something that I've been thinking about recently. I've already got it, I just need to step into it. So what do I actually imagine myself stepping into it. So I stepped into peace this morning, like a blue pool, just peace and calm, and just really focus that on the candle. Focus those thoughts on the candle. This is what this candle is for. It's for this only. It's to make me less stressed. It's to make me, when adversity comes and the neighbours keep chopping my tree down and chucking it back in my garden, I don't turn out with that noise that just came out of my mouth then. So anyway, that's what brought this one on this morning. Don't start. Anyway, so I've put my intention into that one. Take a long time until it feels, yes, I've done it. I'll do the same with this. Just tell it what we're doing today. So it's just like, right, we're going to do this today. Just sort of charge it with your energy, because energy is a frequency. They can measure energy, so that could give me that. I will personally do the same with the oil. Some people don't, but I will charge it and charge it. And if you do candle magic and I'm not doing it the same as you, that's fine. Okay? It's all fine, because we have to find our own way. And if you're sitting there going, that's not right, then there's something wrong with you, mate, not me. Because this has been working, it feels right, I fucking love it. So don't give me any, oh, you should be doing that, you should be doing that before that, because, like, just fuck off. This is my fucking experience, and this is how I will carry on doing it. So And I do the same with the knife. Some people don't. I do, why not? Like, you are going to be used to make some beautiful carvings in my candle that's going to help me be more peaceful and relaxed, and which will help my family and the fucking world going forward, potentially. So, not putting anything negative out, never fucking do. I don't want that shit coming back on me, Christ. I'm just trying to get rid of it. So, I've done all of that. So, what have I done? I have incensed myself. Well, you know what I mean? I'm already incensed this morning, that's why I fucking do it. I've done me incense around me, I've done me incense around my space, I've done me little bell. I've done me incense around my bits and my pieces. I've put my intention in my bits and my pieces. So what do I do now? So, depending on how I feel. So what I used to do was put the oil on it first and then carve it. But I've changed it round the other way. So I'll carve it first and then put the incense on it. Because when you put the oil on it, you're sort of like pushing it in. And so the little carving bits that you've scraped out, I just like quite pushing them back in. So anyway, it's just me, just what feels right to me. Shut your face. Do it your bloody way. Don't give me a break. So I will now do the carving. So, for example, peace and chill this morning. All I did was write my name with my little knife. Just carved my name in. This spell is about me. Some people draw a little stick man. Just put my little name on there. And I actually wrote the word peace. Just carved it in there. Sharp knife. Some people use like a sharp bit of crystal. Oh, you do whatever you want, can't you, mate? This was to hand, and it's worked fine. So until something else comes along, this is what I'm using. And I wrote the word calm on there. You can even make your own little sigils, and you know, you can, as long as you've charged it with what you want it to be, you can put anything on there. You can use the rune symbols if you know what they mean. I don't understand what they mean. Tina's got a rune thing for me and Mark that we're going to listen to this weekend. We're saving it, Tina. We're saving it for when it's just me and Mark and we've got a bit of peace to sit down and listen to the runes that Tina's done for us. She did a rune reading, so we haven't listened to that yet, but Mark's getting into that. He's just feeling drawn to that, but I don't feel drawn to that. So I don't know what the rune meanings mean. So it's not something I feel drawn to. So I wouldn't potentially put a rune sign on there. But I would potentially come up with my own sigil. I would potentially come up with my own. That's how I am. But yeah, I'm not drawn to doing the runes. I think it's fascinating, and I'm really grateful that there's people like Tina out there to tell us all about it. But for me personally, it's obviously not what I'm supposed to do. So you carve whatever you want on that. Make sure the intention's in there. When you're carving it, do it slowly. Don't just like carve it's done. Carve it. Think of every single like mark you're making, and keep putting your intention. It's just energy. It's energy. Chill the fuck out. Put your intention in. Keep thinking of that beautiful like blue pool of, what calms me out was like once we went to Croatia and Dubrovnik. I didn't like it. It was too fucking hot. I had a headache the whole time. Spent most of the bloody time in the Airbnb watching fucking Breaking Bad. But the one thing that did chill me out was going swimming in the Adriatic Sea. Oh my God. When I think of that blue water and me just floating in that sea, it was chilled, man. That was like something I can go to in my head if I want to feel relaxed. So if you've got something like that and you're doing a little spell with your little blue candle, or whatever you want, really imagine yourself in that sea. Like, oh my God, it was so lovely. It's the only thing that was easing my headache. I can just think of the dripping and I can hear the people splashing, and that is energy, and that's from a lived memory of when you were, and you're like, I've been there, and I am peace. I'm just stepping back into it. So that's what I was doing this morning. Anyway, so whatever it is you want, don't do bad shit and curses. Christ, do you want that shit coming back on you? Don't be silly. No, thank you. Just nice about yourself. Blah blah blah. So I've carved Liz, I've carved the word calm, and I've carved the word peace. And what I'm going to do now is anoint the candle with oil, okay? So I've only got 3 at the moment. I do want to get more of a collection of them. So I tend to use sandalwood for most of them at the moment. I've got it all written down. Don't forget, I'm still learning, but it don't feel like, yeah, okay, I'm learning, but in actuality, I'm being reminded that's how this feels. I don't want to sound like a big head, like, oh, I don't need no course. Of course I needed the course. Bloody paid for it. It's a bloody brilliant course. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Did it all in one fucking sitting. Of course I needed the course to remind me about what I used to do, potentially. It just reminded me. So at the moment, I've got sandalwood, juniper and frankincense. The only reason I've got juniper is because somebody said that rub it in your knees and it'll help your arthritis. And the only reason I've got sandalwood is because I thought, oh, that made a nice smell. And so I did actually buy the frankincense specially from that Star Child shop in Glastonbury, specially for the magic spells. So this is just what I had to hand, and I've got it all written down, what different oils, because, you want an oil that comes from a plant that, say for example, you do not get any sleep. I've got a feeling that might be a good colour for sleep. I might have just made that up. Maybe just intuitively knew it. But if maybe you wanted some sleep, go and have a look, which is the colour for energy for sleep. I've got a feeling it might be something like that. And then we know lavender is good for sleep. So you'd get a lavender oil because the plant lavender is good for sleeping and relaxing. So all those energies, so make it all work. So potentially that's the colour to help you sleep. I might have made that up. If I have, don't care. And then, lavender, because that's got the energy of going to sleep. And then maybe I've got these little, I haven't used these yet. Maybe you'll find some herbs, or might even be crushed up lavender that you can roll your candle in. This is called Green Man. I have no idea what his properties are, but Green Man, and I'm all about him. Oh Christ, it smells fucking amazing. So one of these days I'm going to roll one of my candles in that. But I haven't done that yet. I haven't rolled it in that yet, but I'm going to. So do you understand what I mean? So make it all, the colour, the smell, make it all come from the place that you want to be. So whether it's I want to get a bit more sleep, I want to be a bit more calm, I fucking need a new job. You know what I mean. I need to be more confident. I've got it all written down, what means what. I'm still learning it at the moment, or being reminded. But I haven't got enough oils to be that picky, so I seem to end up with sandalwood, which is good at the moment because, like, sandalwood, wood, trees, I'm trying to like utilise the energy around me, and I'm surrounded by trees, and somebody's being an arsehole to the trees. Anyway, so what have we done? We've incensed ourselves. Sounds funny. We've incensed ourselves, we've incensed our tools, we've belled, we've, put our intention into it, we've carved our words, our sigils into our candle. So now we got to anoint. Now go fucking careful with this. People get bloody third-degree burns with this. Flammable, mind. You can make it less, because this is essential oils. You can get special oils and anointing oils, and listen, I'm just learning about this. I think they might be watered down a little bit with like things like grape oil, so they're not as potent. Obviously this is the essential oils, so this is the very potent stuff. Flammable. All right, flammable. So go fucking careful. So what I do, I haven't carriers, they call them. I haven't mixed these with any carriers to make them. I just haven't found the need to do that yet. So personally, at the moment, being a bit of a novice and just going by my intuition, I just put a couple of drops of this on my fingers. Oh, Christ's sake. Bloody Mark always bloody... Oh, when I do a video, if you don't walk into the bloody kitchen and make a cup of tea, he's bloody like 14 miles down the road, but he texting me, interrupting me. Christ. So I just put a few drops on my fingers like that, and there's all these different ways you can anoint your candles. So if you want to bring energy in, for example, I was like thinking, right, okay, so what do I want to do this morning? Was I had my blue candle and I was like, right, so basically I want to do two things, don't I? I want to get rid of the stress but bring in the peace. So if I was just thinking get rid of the stress, you'd have your oil and you'd be like going up the candle and throwing the stress away, like really, and you'd still think about your pool and your intention, and so getting rid of the stress, so up the candle and throw it away, up the candle and throw it away. But then I was like, but also I want to bring the peace and the light in. So I was on a conundrum. So downwards, drawing it in, drawing the energy in. So I just ended up doing a bit of both. So really concentrating and meditating. I was drawing the positive, chill vibes in, and then getting rid of the negative, throwing that away. I'm not being funny. The universe gets what you're trying to do. This is my belief anyway. Yes, okay, I needed my little course to remind me that this is what I love to do. I forgot. I've always loved candles. I've always nearly burnt the fucking house down with candles. It took this course to remind me that this is what I did once. I've already said this, but what I'm saying is, you get people saying, don't blow out the candle, only use a snuffer. I'm not even going to look up why, because I had a snuffer, lost it. So if I need to blow out a candle, mate, I'm going to blow out a fucking candle, yeah? I'm not going to have in my head, you shouldn't blow a candle out because you'll, I don't even know because I've not looked it up. You'll blow the negativity towards the, who the fuck knows, but apparently you're supposed to use a snuffer. Because it's not in my reality that blowing a candle out is a bad thing to do, I'm going to carry on blowing a candle out. The universe knows what I mean. My intention is not to spread nasty shit around it or to bring badness on myself. So, Christ, it just feels like, I have to keep thinking things like, don't be so superstitious. You know, just do what feels right and then leave it. Don't go worrying, oh, should I have done this and done that? Well, if you start worrying and thinking things like that, then yeah, you should, because you've just made it a real thing in your reality. So yeah, you should have done. But I'm catching myself now coming up with these like, oh, you need to do this. And I'm like, no, I don't. Don't be so superstitious. So as long as you, I think, know what you mean in the direction or however you put the oil on, your intention is all that matters. As long as it's sincere and strong, your will is strong and you're being really sincere in what you do. So if somebody else says, you've got to anoint the candle this way, and if it don't feel right, don't do that. Anyway, that's my little fucking rant. It's been going on for about 30 minutes. So what have we done? We've carved it, we've anointed it. Sticky in there, like I used to stick them in there. Now, what I did this morning was, so you can to make it you, I didn't understand this one. On my course, the woman was like, okay, if you want to make it about you, grab a hair of your head and stick it under the candle holder there. And I'm like, I get it, because the frequency of my hair, but it's not touching the candle. So that didn't feel right to me. That didn't resonate with me. So I just had one little hair, and the candle was a tiny bit sticky because of the oil, so I just rubbed it round. And it's like, yeah, it's definitely about me. It's got my fucking DNA in it there. So, and some people, Mark, will you fuck off? Yeah, some people put words and things under the candle. Whereas before, it feels right for me to burn. Not because of a negative way. If I've got some words or something and I want it, I will want that bit of paper to turn into smoke and go up and fucking join the universe. You know what I mean? But they say put a bit of paper under there. Well, that didn't feel right to me. So if I want to write some words down, I'm going to set fire to the bastards and stick them in my little cauldron, and that's what feels right to me. Do what you want to do. Do what they tell you to do, or do what you want to do is what I'm going to start saying. So I've lit my candle and then, just be really chill. have a little meditate on your candle, look at it. It's like, was it Pyro Claire? I can't remember. There's a thing in there like clairvoyance where you can scry with fire. I'm also starting to think that might be something I've done in the past as well, because I accidentally didn't know that was a thing, and then started doing it. So, you know, I was watching my candle. This was a few candles ago, and it was in there. You know, some people say, oh, is the flame big or is the flame small? You can see if it's going to work by the size of the flame. And does it spit? Does it drip? I'm sorry, but I used to work in a candle shop. They're not going to drip because they're paraffin candles, and the paraffin disintegrates into the air. So unless you're pushing it, it's not going to drip. Unless you get the drippy candles, but they're the ones that don't. They've got more something fat in them than paraffin. So that didn't ring true to me. The size of the flame on all of my candles was always exactly the same. And also, it depends on your wicks, because it really does. Let's just get real with this. See, the bit I disagreed with her, and if you do it, you might disagree with me, but that's okay, innit? We can disagree, can't we? You know, you get something called a mushroom. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but we always used to say in the candle shop, trim your wicks, because when you start getting like the wick is black and it's got like a mushroomy bit on it, that's when it starts going and smoke. So once you've trimmed your mushroom, which all candles get, it goes back to being a nice flame. So I don't really take a lot of notice of the dripping because it's paraffin. Then you don't get a lot of drip with your candles these days, unless you get the drippy ones. I don't take a lot of notice of how tall or how. I'm sorry, but there's no air in this room, so the only time it moves is when I move it or I talk. And none of those variables change in this room. So all of the flames were exactly the same, and I'm like, well, that can't be right. So instead of looking at the flame and that will help predict the future, or that will help predict how well the spell will go, I don't do that. I just trust that all the intentions that I've put in have worked now. Done. It's a done deal. So I use that time of being with the candle to meditate and sort of say, and I don't even say, and I have had some bloody brilliant like inspirational nuggets pop into my head when I've just been chilling with the candle, not trying to analyse the candle, just chilling with the candle. And what I did a few candles ago was, it was in this one, and in order to keep this little skinny, it was a little skinny one in there, in order to keep him upright, because what I've also got is some old rose petals. Now, I don't usually buy, well, I don't ever buy cut flowers because I feel like it's giving somebody a dead thing. I mean, they're beautiful, and when you get them, they're beautiful, thank you, but it's not something I buy. But one of the students at work who left bought me some red roses. So I dried out the petals, and to keep this candle up, I squished that in there, squished a whole load of petals in there, and it, like a whole load more than that, and it kept it up. And then I was just watching it for freaking the whole time until it got right in there, and there was only a tiny bit of flame left, but the flame was like, it was a human, or it was just like so alive, and it was like trying to stay alive. And I was just like, all of a sudden thought, oh my Christ, I'm actually reading or divining, or I didn't think those words because I'm not that fucking pretentious, but I knew what I was doing, but I didn't have the words for it. I just like, I am divining, okay, from this fucking flame that was flickering in there for absolutely ages. And I'm not going into detail because it's my bloody business, but I've made some drastic changes in my life just because of this little flame guy that was in there dancing about, and I have made some drastic changes in my life because of him. So it had nothing to do with, oh, is it dripping? Is it this? Is it nothing to do with that? And so in this one this morning, I was like, we get down to the bottom here. I'm not going to have any of that excitement because we've not got anything to contain it in. So this is all well and good. It keeps it upright, but it's not going to be as exciting as the last one. So what I have been doing over the last month and a half or 2 months or whatever it is every time I use a match, blow it out to light me bits, I put it in my cauldron. Every time I get to the end of an incense stick, I throw it in my cauldron. I throw the little powdery bits in there. Little bits of wax I put in there, in my little cauldron, simply because if it's hot, I'm not going to burn the place down by putting it, you know, it was convenient when I first started doing it. It's just for convenience. But then when the full moon came along, and then I'll talk about that candle in a minute, full moon came along, and I thought all these bits and gubbins and, you know, bits of old plant that I've burnt and this, that and the other that have been sitting in my cauldron, I got an urge to bury it in the full moon, because I thought that's a really nice full stop to all the little magical doings that I've done over the last month. I never read to do that. Nobody told me to do that. You lot might say, Liz, you shouldn't do that because of that. Well, fuck off. It felt bloody brilliant. So I buried it, and it was like a little, the end, or yeah, like a full stop to all the gubbins. And then I started afresh the next month. So coming back to this candle, because I didn't have this brilliant little holder here, which had my little dancing flame man in it, and it was just this, I got down to about here, and I thought, what am I going to do? Because I want to see my little flame man, but it's not going to happen. So I picked him up and I chucked him in there. And oh blimey, did we get some big flames. We got a lot of smoke, and I did a few bits and pieces with the smoke. I took it, let it go out the window, blah blah blah. But that was brilliant, just to watch that burn down. So that's going to be my new thing now. So when I get to the bottom, and I've got a tiny little bit left, I chuck it in there and divine from the flames and the smoke. So what you're doing really is, it's not, you know, it's not magic as in, ooh. You're concentrating on a flame, you're concentrating on the smoke. So what are you actually doing? You're meditating. So by concentrating on the flame and concentrating on the smoke, you are blocking out your senses, you know, not thinking about the aches and pains, not listening to Caleb's nonsense music. I'm just concentrating on this. So I'm meditating. So meditation, as we know, there's a little butter there, meditating, can bring up the stuff that we need to either remember, it can bring up the best ideas, it can give us clarity, and that's all that is. So I'm back in the day, I think I must have stared at a lot of fires or something, because it's I'm getting good results with this. So the candles, and then my funny little divination in my cauldron. And so the next full moon, I'll put a little rose petal in there. The next full moon, that's beautiful, isn't it? See, I'm a weirdo because I think that looks beautiful. Fucking weirdo. Put my little lid on for next time. So next full moon, I'll bury all that. There's a full moon, look. There it is. There it is. So so that's that done. And then some people say, oh, at the end of the ritual, have a little dingy ding. I think I felt a little bit pressure to do that. I don't think that came naturally, but I did it anyway. But anyway, do what you want. And so, next full moon, I'll bury all that. There's that. There is a full moon, look. There it is. There it is. So And then some people say, make sure you write it down, all the stuff that come into your head. Well, yeah, of course, definitely. I've got my book there with my bits. Write down the bits that come in. That's really good. And then I've got some stuff to write down about previous spells I've done. I've got my little book, and I've, results, or what have you noticed, or has anything happened? Well, it actually has, massively in one of them. So I need to write about that. So then I suppose, you just like breathe, blah, blah, blah. Don't just, right, okay, that's that done. Come out of it slowly like you would a bloody meditation or yoga class, etc. But then what you need to do, and this is what I did agree with the woman that was teaching me. I did agree with this bit. Forget about it. She's like, go out with your friend and have a burger, or go for a walk, or go and watch the telly, or I agree with that, because I've also been doing another course, because I love the tarot, as you know, but I'm fucked if I understand about it. So I thought, right, put your money where your mouth is. I'm going to buy a course, and I've done that too, and I'm only about 20% into that course. But this guy, he said, the reason why you keep... I hate the word manifest. It's been overused, and it's so new agey these days. But I can't think of a better word to use. The reason why most people wish, and maybe they meditate on it, and they pray for it, and they this, that, and the other, and it doesn't happen, this guy was saying, is because if you don't think you've got it, then the universe won't give it to you, because you've got everything in abundance. Whatever we need to get through this fucking world, this life, this madness, we've got within ourselves. And if it's money, we've also got that. We've got the power to get that somehow. We just haven't fucking worked it out yet, if we're skint as arseholes. We haven't developed our... I don't know. Anyway, so this guy was saying, if we don't get what we want, it's because we keep trying too hard. So we're like, I could be doing I could be doing that spell 3 times a bloody day. What's that telling the universe? Don't you believe that you fucking got it then? Oh, well, sod ya. So she sort of said, this woman, just leave it. It's done. No, it's done. Move on. And I really agree with that. It's like, oh, thanks, done, yeah. So it's, I don't even think, oh, thanks, it's done now. That's what I used to think a couple of months ago. Now I actually think it's already done before I start. I'm just stepping into it. It's already done. It's already there. It's already mine. It's already my experience. I just have to remember that it's my experience, and I'm in it, and I'm living it. I'm just stepping into it. I'm just waiting to catch up with myself. That's how I see it now. And the spell is to just sort of almost... It's almost like throwing out. So imagine me. I'm already there. I'm over there in the place I want to be with... I'm not going to go into details, but I've got A, B, and C that I want, right? But I'm here. So what I've done here, I've put a little spell out with loads of intentions, and what that's done in my little... This is what I think. It's almost like thrown out a little rope to where I am here, so that this person can now start pulling me towards it. That's how I see this, okay? I don't shoot the messenger, it's just how I feel about it. And I'm going to start trusting how I feel about things, because I've noticed recently it fucking works. So, what am I banging on about? Yeah, what was I banging on about? We've done our spell, we've written it down, we've come out of the zone, as it were. So, well, not completely. So what, you could leave it there, go off, go and watch a bloody comedy and have a cup of tea, whatever you want to do. I like to use the energy that I've created now, and I'm doing this course about tarot. So I like to use the energy I've created in this room to do a couple of other things. So I've done my little cauldron-y thing. That's the second bit I've done. And now I just pull out a tarot card. I do this, you know, smudge it. I get the cards out, I smudge them. I shuffle them, I do the thinking and the intention. I don't actually, when I'm doing this one, all I think is, just teach me what I need to know. Just teach me, just show me what I need to know right now. What do I need to know right now? And you know, you can think whatever you want, can't you? This is just what feels right to me. After I've done this candles magic and I've done my little cauldron thing, it feels right for me to just say to the tarot cards, okay, you know, what do I need to know? Be it good, bad, whatever. Just, you know, this morning I got that one, which is a really positive one. The Three of Cups. My little man that is teaching me, he said that it means that I'm going to be coming closer or meeting up with my soul family. And I'm just like, yeah, me and friends don't usually go well, but, you know, we trust it. And then I leave that card up there. I just leave the energy of that up until I come back and do a different candle magic spell. So this one here, I bought that candle in Glastonbury because I just thought it was beautiful. I didn't have any intention of what I wanted to do with it when I bought it. I just thought, that's a beautiful bloody thing and I'll have it. I'm having that. So, and it was the full moon. And then all of a sudden I was like, of course it is my full moon candle. I mean, it always was going to be, bloody dickhead. The only reason that's dripping is because I took it downstairs and back upstairs because I didn't want to leave it in a room by itself. So that's why that is a bit drippy. So I'm going to burn that every full moon now and just have it downstairs in the window or wherever I am. Just a little, I don't know, I don't really know. I've carved some bits and pieces onto it. I've anointed it and I just got an urge to light him every full moon now. And have him lit when I'm out doing my bits and burying my bits. Anyway, I think we're there, guys. So that's why I haven't been posting, because I've been walking the walk instead of talking the talk. Is that right? Walking the talk and the walking the talk. For a change. And I thoroughly enjoying myself. So hope you enjoyed this. If you think I'm a fucking lunatic, well, you'll unsubscribe. I get that quite a lot. Chill out. It's not fucking dark shit. It's just chill. It feels right to me, so I'm going to carry on doing it, and there ain't nothing you can fucking say to stop me. Love you all, bye.